So anyway, the question I have for you guys is, what is the hottest of the 22 caliber hot rods? Howdy folks, it is James at Rexham, rexham.com.au. Rexham is what we do. Oh my god, was that super shit? I don't know. As I said, still a little bit nervous about this whole thing, but get a coffee. I need a break from making bullets. The 6.5s went off with a massive bang. It was so good. And I have lots left over. I actually really underestimated how many I had on the shelf. So once the back orders are out, there's a couple of guys that are waiting on some stuff that are desperate that I promised would get some, and then I will have hundreds left over. So I will put them up on the website soon. Guys who just wanted shirts, I have ordered you and paid for your shirts. If you wouldn't mind jumping on the website and placing your order, that would be fantastic. And as soon as they arrive, I'll ship them out to you. That would be great. And thanks again for your support. Like, awesome. So anyway, in this chat, get a coffee or a wine or a beer or whatever you want. I'm going to ask a question. Could be controversial. So anyway, the question I have for you guys is, what is the hottest of the 22 caliber hot rods? There are so many out there, and you know what? I'm passionate about this because I spent the last 2 years trying to work it out myself. And man, I pretty much built everything, and I've extensively shot almost all of them, and or at least like within any more than most, I guess, because I have a problem. I guess I just love to wildcat shit, and yeah, and like I drove my gunsmith freaking crazy. Like poor Grant, I'd walk in like Swan rifle barrels. I'd walk in there and he'd be like, "What the shit kind of caliber have you concocted today, James?" And I'd be like, "Well, 22 300 WSM, of course." And he'd just be like, "What the fuck?" And this was almost like a weekly occurrence at one stage. So anyway, thank you, because he tolerated my presence, and man, he built me some great shit. He really did. So anyway, what is the hottest of the 22 caliber hot rods? What is my opinion? Love to know what yours is, and I'm going to explain why, and I hope you do too down the bottom after this. Here we go. Okay guys, so if you haven't done it yet, make sure you click the follow button on my Facebook page. It will keep you up to date on products that we've got, things that we're releasing. When these videos come out, you know, like all sorts of stuff. It'll help you just stay in touch and keep you up to date. So please do that. Now, I'm going to try and save you guys like months of garbage trying to pick a heavy hitting, hard, you know, fast, flat shooting 22 caliber. If you're looking for more than your 223, if you want to reach out and touch something that's 300 odd yards away with some real authority, you know, whether it be a dog, a cat, a pig, a vegan, like, I don't know, whatever it may be, you know, this might answer some questions, because man, there is a lot has happened over the last few decades, and there's now more stuff available than ever before. So I'm going to try and make that a little bit easier for you. So for example, before I start, I just wanted to say, hey guys, look at this. If you just type in a simple question, like, man, you get pages and pages and pages of stuff. You know, like even straight up, like, convince me that I don't need a 22 250 Ackley or a 22 Creedmoor. Or, you know, 22 250 Ackley versus Cheetah versus AI versus Cheetah AI. Like, you know, even if you just click on the very first link, like, this will blow your mind. Like, it's 5 or 6 pages of just like garbage trash talk on 24-hour campfire, which is why Predator Master forums and stuff are also really good and Accurate Shooter and stuff. But there is a lot of different opinions and a lot of really interesting comments made. So, you know, even like talking about like Murray and her goats, and you're like, well, what the hell does that got to do with my choice of caliber? But they seem to talk about it. So let's just try to stay focused. All right, here we go. 223 and 223 Ackley I'm leaving out of this. I own both. I wouldn't bother Ackleying it again. I didn't see the gains. I don't think it was worthwhile. My opinion, of course, just calm down. Would I do it again? No. I think the 223 on its own is a great caliber, but we're looking for a little bit more, okay? The 22 BR, I don't own anything in the BR case or the BRA or the Dasher or anything like that. Got mates that do, and they love it, but it's somewhere between 22 250, 22 250 Ackley, a little more obscure like the 22 47 Lapua or 22 284. So I'm just going to leave that there and just sort of move on to some of the more common calibers that are available now. For instance, the 22-250, great caliber, been around forever. You know, it's certainly proved its place as a modern cartridge, and you know it's available pretty much everywhere. So it has some downsides, and the downsides are it usually comes in a 12 or 14 twist, so your pill selection is really limited, and it stretches its brass like really quite badly. So you need to be trimming all the time. Some people Ackley it's simply for the sake of not having to trim their brass as much, because it does stretch quite a bit. But yeah, no, it's a good caliber. Next on the list, obviously, is this bad boy here, and that is the 22 Creedmoor. Now, the 22 Creedmoor is faster than the 22-250 Ackley. It has a little bit more case capacity, has a great case design reminiscent of the WSM, with a sharp shoulder there, and it does a phenomenal job. In fact, I own one of these too. So I used to own these two. I now own the 22 Creedmoor as well, and I own this and this as well. But yeah, I use that as my thermal rig at the moment. It is a phenomenal caliber, and I run it in an 8 twist. Now, the 22-243, I can't believe that more people didn't use this caliber in Australia. 243 brass is freaking everywhere. Like, you find me a farm that doesn't have a 243 on it with like hundreds of rounds of brass just like sitting in a box somewhere. It's like, this could be you, you know. It is as fast as a Creedmoor. It's faster than the 22-250. It is a lightning rod. It's easy to tune, easy to shoot. Just throw it appropriately and go knock stuff over, and it will, again, an 8 twist in that is just phenomenal. Like, what a good caliber. I'm really surprised, actually. I mean, I love it. I think it's great. It's one of my favorites. And I also own this, which is the Ackley version of the 22-243. The fastest, yes, it is the fastest of all of these by 100, 150 feet per second, but there's really not a lot in any of these. And I was going to do these drop rate comparisons and like the windage stuff, but it just wasn't worth it because they're all so close. So realistically, it's what is going to start to come down to what's more practical and what's more available, and you know, what's the easiest to make, and what gives the best performance. And I've got to be honest, and I'm just going to put it out there now, that I think the winner really is the 22 Creedmoor, which kind of pains me to say because I'm not a 6.5 Creedmoor fan at all. But in the 22 caliber, that case is just brilliant. It's fast, it's easy to tune a node for, and it does everything brilliantly from 55 grain up to 75, 80 grain. It's absolutely a showstopper. If you have a 22-250 and you're looking for more, or that brass issue, fire form it into a Creedmoor chamber. Go get a new barrel and do that instead of Ackleying the 22-250 brass, because when you do finally need to buy new brass, you can buy Creedmoor brass. Peterson are now making it here in Australia, or it's available here in Australia, and you can get 6 Creed brass anywhere, pretty much any major gun shop, and just neck it down. That's what I do, and I run at 260 throat in it so I don't have to neck turn. It makes like heaps of sense. But if I fire form brass in it, it's like I fire formed heaps of 22-250 brass in mine. Works like a charm. So it's got all those advantages where you don't need to muck around. So my close second, and it's a little bit nostalgic, is definitely the 22-243. It's just so easy, guys. It's a no-brainer. You just bang, knock it down, neck it down, go shoot it. Fun. And it hammers stuff. Like, man, I got some photos for anyone with a strong stomach. Like, good stuff. And then my third would probably be the 22-250, and then followed by the Ackleys, just because I used to be a proponent of Ackleying Wildcats and stuff, and now I'm just like, if there's something out there that does just as good a job and it's not having to be fire formed, just use it. Like, and you know, this is coming from a Wildcatter. So, you know, I don't think I own anything that isn't a Wildcat except for my 223 now. But yeah, so it would go 1, 2, 3, and then the Ackley my Ackley versions. So guys, I hope that's helped. If you guys are chasing a faster 22 caliber rifle, like, consider the 22 Creedmoor. I use a Wilson bushing die with a 253 bush from Reading because I prefer the straight wall, but it's easy to achieve on a limited budget too. So if that's been helpful, guys, I'd love to know. I'd love to know what your thoughts are. Have a comment down below. Again, we're professional and this is fun. But I'd love to know what you think, and I'm sure I've got a few guys that have got some pretty obscure stuff out there. So anyway, tell me what you think, and love to hear it. Okay, cool. And if you enjoyed the video, I'm happy to do more. All right, thanks guys. Bye.